Sunday morning, April 9th, and we've been hard at work at the garden. I've got collards in and two kinds of kale. You can see in the back I've still got tons of chard and even the old kale. But the chard is beginning to come to a head. Can you see that head? I don't know. There it is. So that's going to be coming soon out of the ground, or at least into the freezer. And as we scan around, you can see how I've emptied the beds. I harvested rutabaga yesterday, last of it, and ate those greens. That's dandelion greens. I got the last of the kale that's now flowering, and I'll prep these beds for later use, probably some squash. We'll try that again this year, and of course the fall garden will start in there. Now if I pan over, our cardoon is doing fantastically well. I've already harvested it and had it last week. Cut up the pieces, steam them a little bit, put them on a pizza. Delicious. Cardoon is so delicious. It's sweet. It's almost like a celery, a sweet celery. And here we go. And here we go into the pot garden. I've been working on this. Bruiser is, or Mr. B as I now call him sometimes, is here resting. He watches me do everything. You can see I got basil plants in already. And I've got some, let me get over here before I trip, peppers. And the tomatoes are already in the pots. Now they were very tall, but what you do is you take off the lower leaves and you bury the root systems as deeply as you can. And that creates a very strong plant. My escarole is beginning to want to go to seed, so I'm going to pull that today and have it for lunch, some of it. And lettuce that I grew from seed is here, doing well. But in this area of the country, we will have a very quick heating up, and lettuce is hard to grow for me anyway, where my location is, my microcosm. So that's the spring garden so far. You can see the cutback bushes are beginning to green up. This tree, this is a New Mexico privet. We cut off a big lower branch there, and it is beginning to bloom nicely. You can see how all the bushes that I cut back very, very deeply to rejuvenate these bushes are really starting to leaf out. And if you come around here, this is my new landscaping. We've got steps instead of the broken down bridge. And you can see the chocolate flowers are really beginning to bloom now. And you can see some of the, that's another sage plant there. It's red flowers. That's coming up. The hummingbirds like that sort of thing. The pomegranate over here is growing like crazy. Now, I don't get much out of it in terms of fruits, but well, it's a nice bush anyway. And as you can see over here, the original chocolate flower that I saw a couple weeks ago is now starting to really go at it. The grapes are beginning to bud and leaf out, and there are a couple little tiny grape bunches now. And also the vitex, which is a desert plant, is starting to bud out here and also by the wall. So overall, I think we're safely out of the freeze zone, which is April 15th is our last date. I don't think we're going to be seeing a freeze ever anymore. And here, if you want to see here, I've got my eyes now on this area here under the pomegranate, which is the home of Chasca. Now, you'd think she'd be coming out now as it's warmer, but the soil temperatures and the air temperatures have to kind of work together. 60 degrees or so for soil temperature makes her very happy. So I would doubt that she's going to come out anytime soon, as we're still going to be in the 40s at night. Usually she has come out mostly in May, early May, so we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on Chasca. She could surprise us. She's come out on February days sometimes, though, when it's rained a lot, so you never know how they're going to react from year to year. So anyway, that's the garden. The pan now around, and you can see an overview here of what it looks like, and the mountains in the background. So another season is starting for the garden in southern New Mexico.